It's Weekend Update with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Colin Jost. Well, yesterday, President Trump finally released what everyone has been asking him to release.
Nice.
George Santos, the former Republican congressman who had pled guilty to fraud and something called aggravated identity theft, which I think is when you push someone into a closet and switch clothes with them, is now free and will face zero consequences. But Santos says that he's a changed man, and he even released a photo of his new prison body.
Volodymyr Zelensky has said that if President Trump provides Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles, he will nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. You know, the prize they give you for selling missiles. There was outrage this week over a leaked group chat between Republican leaders which praised Hitler and referred to black Americans as watermelon people. The chat was named Joe's Family.
What did I do to you? While traveling on Air Force One to the Middle East to celebrate the ceasefire, President Trump told reporters, "I don't think there's anything that's going to get me into heaven." Then he paused for 10 full minutes, waiting for someone to say, "That's not true." Because Trump can't go to heaven. He's far too busy down here, running hell.
President Trump announced that another alleged drug smuggling boat from Venezuela has been blown out of the water without warning. And you may not think that's a big deal right now, but one day soon, you'll look at yourself in the mirror and realize you're out of cocaine. President Trump criticized Time magazine for using a bad picture of him on the cover, saying, quote, "They disappeared my hair." And I gotta agree, that thing do look waxed.
John Bolton, who wants people to stop coming up to him to order chicken, has become the third person on President Trump's enemies list to be indicted. And you know you aren't living your life right when you keep an actual list of your enemies. At least that's what my therapist told me. So now she's on the list too. Hundreds of people in Portland sent a message to ICE to leave their city by riding their bikes naked through the rain. And you're not going to believe this, it didn't work.
A new report shows that of the nearly 100 Trump nominees confirmed by the Senate, only 2 of them were black. 2 black people out of 100? I mean, what is this, my Tinder matches? Nope.
I liked it. Argentine President Javier Milei, seen here asking if he makes you horny, baby, met with President Trump at the White House this week, where Trump announced he's sending $40 billion to Argentina. Because if history is any guide, a lot of Trump officials will end up fleeing to Argentina. Okay, one clap. In the clinching, I'm just kidding. No, that's fine. In the clinching game of the NLCS, Dodger star Shohei Ohtani pitched 6 scoreless innings, struck out 10 batters, then hit 3 home runs. It is a feat. It is a feat previously only accomplished by George Santos.
During the first New York mayoral debate, Andrew Cuomo attacked Zohran Mamdani, saying that he once gave the finger to the Columbus Day statue, whereas Cuomo snuck up behind the statue and grabbed it by the hips.
Well, Halloween is right around the corner, which means it's officially scary movie season. Here to comment is Weekend Update's resident cinephile, the movie guy.
How's everybody doing tonight? I'm the movie guy. Yeah, and I'm here to talking about a scary movie. Ooh.
Okay. All right, scary movies. Well, movie guy, let's start with Black Phone 2. That just came out this weekend.
Oh, yeah, Black Phone 2. Ring, ring. Hello? Oh, sorry, you had the wrong number because I have not seen that one yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it just came out. What about the biggest horror movie of the year, Weapons?
Oh, yeah, Weapons. That was a very big movie, Colin. Everybody saw Weapons. And I have to tell you, I was not one of those people.
Do you even like scary movies?
Oh, I love scary movies because in the title, they tell you what's gonna happen. Like a Scream. Everybody scream. Smile. Everybody smile. And Saw. Everybody saw. Except me. I did not see Saw.
Okay. All right. Well, what about like classic horror movies, like The Exorcist?
Oh. The Exorcist. That's about a scary child. But you know who is the scariest child? Tui.
Who?
Tui.
Tui?
Tui Griffiths, man. Come on.
Come on.
Yeah. His father is fat. His mother is skinny, and she always getting so mad at him. And I can see why. It's because his head looked like a vagina destroyer.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about scary movie, man.
Not
Come on.
really.
You know what movie is very scary? The one with Michael Myers.
Oh, yes, of course. Classic Halloween. Michael Myers.
No. Michael Myers, Shrek, my brother. This movie is about every man's biggest fear. You going to sleep with a beautiful woman, and then you waking up and go, how drunk was I last night? You know what I'm talking about, Colin. You know. You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about.
Leave me out of this, okay? Can we focus on scary movies, okay? I know what you did last summer.
Okay, what did I do?
I don't know.
Okay, then why would you say something like that?
What about the movie It?
I did not see that.
That's Alien?
No, Colin, I am an American citizen.
No. All right, movie guy. I feel like I should have said this 2 minutes ago, but it's time to wrap it up.
Okay, but before I go, can I do a joke?
Sure, sure. You can tell a joke.
Okay,
Great.
thank you. This is a joke about a scary movie from 2008, okay? The movie is One Missed Call. In this movie, the phone rings, and if you don't pick it up, you die. And I'm like, is this movie about my mother? Am I right, guys?
Movie guy, everyone.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you so much.
Next time, just watch the movie.
Skims has introduced a new line of thong underwear called Ultimate Bush, which features synthetic pubic hair, and I know a guy who could wear it as a scarf.
Retailers are saying that the top kids' costumes for Halloween this year are the K-pop Demon Hunters, or as it's sold at Spirit Halloween, Asian singing murderers. Visitors to the San Diego Zoo's gorilla exhibit were startled when one of the apes shattered the glass ceiling. Inspiring.
I'm proud of the ape.
Inspiring.
Britain's Prince Andrew announced that after a discussion with King Charles about his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, he will stop using his royal title Duke of York and instead will go by the King of Quinceañeras. I'm proud of that joke. Do it.
Officials are saying this year's fall foliage season will end sooner and will have more muted colors. Cool, guess I'll just kill myself then.
What happened to you, man? Doctors in China transplanted a genetically modified pig liver into a man who lived for 171 days after the procedure. The liver will now be sent to a special facility for experimental animal organs. You okay, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Census data shows that New York is ranked as one of the states with the most residents moving out. Here to talk about that is someone who just moved in, new cast member Tommy Brennan.
Hi, Colin.
Hey, Tommy, welcome. So you just moved to New York. What do you think so far?
Well, it's a little different from home. I'm from the Midwest. Not sure if you can tell from my kind eyes and secret drinking problem, but I'm from like a big Minnesotan family. I'm one of 8 kids.
8 kids. Wow, you do not see that a lot.
Yeah, I think probably because it's the wrong choice. Like, 8 is too many kids. You know how I know that? We had a cafeteria-style milk machine at home. We had a milkman. Tim the milkman was like a big part of my life. He'd show up, he'd replace the milk, we'd play catch, he'd call me son. I'd be like, why do I look so much like you?
It sounds like you grew up in like the 1930s.
Well, yeah, I didn't, but I do kind of look like I did. Like, I look like a Lockett photo during World War I. You know, like, I look like a guy who was really good at football pre-integration. I will say, I think the way I grew up has really helped me adjust to New York. Like, everyone says public transit is wild. But for my entire childhood, the 10 of us rode around in a 7-seater Chevy Astro van. So anywhere we drove, it kind of looked like we were being trafficked. So I love the subway. I can hang down there. I've been watching people jump over those turnstiles, and today, I finally worked up the courage, and I jumped my first one.
Hey, that's great. Thank you. Man, congrats, buddy. Jumped your first turnstile.
Yeah, it was cool. It was exhilarating. It was thrilling. It was on the way out, but it felt good. It counts, you know?
Yeah, it counts. It counts. So you're a good boy.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a good boy. I guess I'm just like really scared of being in trouble all the time because I grew up Catholic, which means I grew up like feeling guilty, but I never knew what for. Because when you're a kid, when you grow up Catholic, like the only sins you really know are like breaking the 10 Commandments, like don't steal, don't kill, you have the right to bear arms or whatever, and so I never really knew what to say, like, in confession, because I couldn't confess to the one sin that me and every other 12-year-old boy was committing constantly. You know, what I referred to back then as Tommy time. You know, shucking my corn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I bet, like, at confession, I couldn't be like, yeah, I've been going to town on myself lately. It's kind of all I do. Honestly, it's consuming my life, Father, and if I wasn't in here, that's what I'd be doing, you know? Can't say that, because then he'd be like, oh, you can do it in here, I'm doing it.
Tommy Brennan, everyone.
I'm sorry.
For Weekend Update, I'm Colin Jost.
I'm Michael Che. Good night.